All right, good morning. Thank you for joining us for our November's What's What. We'll be talking about sugar this morning. My name is Ken Sturm. I will be your presenter today. It looks like people have stopped signing in, so we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so there's two types of sugars that are found in foods. One being the naturally occurring sugars that are found in fruits, which is fructose. The sugars that are found in dairy products, which are lactose. These foods contain a variety of other important nutrients for a low number of calories, and they are important components in a nutritious diet. Then, of course, we have our added sugars. So our added sugars are artificially added to foods for sweetness. Some examples obviously include sugar, high fructose corn syrup, honey, and many others. They are found in sweets, candies, sodas, and other sugary drinks in a variety of other foods, such as ketchup, salad dressings, barbecue sauces, etc. Added sugars add calories, but they do not provide any nutritional value. So when we talk about limiting sugars as part of good nutrition, it is these added sugars that we really need to focus on. Here are some of the facts about sugar and why eating too much sugar, added sugar, is a cause for concern. Added sugar contains calories but no nutritional value. They are often referred to as empty calories. According to the 2015-2020 dietary guidelines for Americans, added sugars make up about more than 13% of total calories per day. It's about 270 calories or about 18 teaspoons of sugar. They affect the nutritional quality of food choices when they replace nutritious foods and drinks. Eating too much added sugar is linked to many health problems, as we see on the screen. High triglycerides, excessive calories, may contribute obviously to weight gain and obesity. One study found that drinking sugary drinks or sodas is linked to an increased risk in type 2 diabetes. And obviously there's always the increased risk of dental cavities when we have a lot of excess sugar. So we'll do a little pop quiz. So true or false, 1 teaspoon of sugar contains about 15 calories. And this is true. It may not sound like a whole lot of calories, even for a person who's eating fewer calories to lose weight, but most people tend to eat several teaspoons per day. So we're going to talk about how much teaspoons are found in our daily consumption. So, a half cup of vanilla ice cream contains about 3.5 teaspoons. A standard brownie is about 5.1 teaspoons. A 12-ounce can of regular cola, 9.8 teaspoons. A fountain drink like you get at the gas station is 39.2 teaspoons of sugar. And just to put it all kind of in perspective, 1 cup of table sugar is a whopping 48.0 teaspoons. And I realize most of us hopefully aren't going to sit down and just eat a cup of sugar. But most of us, or a lot of people are probably drinking that much or more if you're getting the fountain drink at the gas station or you're going out to eat and getting several refills of your regular soda. So the things obviously add up really quickly. So we'll do another little testing of our knowledge here. True or false? This is false. All right. So just some ideas here for product food labels. I mean, you almost really have to be a sugar detective to really find out all the added sugar hidden in stuff. Food labels list grams of sugar in the nutrition facts panel, but they do not currently differentiate between naturally occurring sugars and added sugars. The FDA is creating some changes to the food label laws, so this is starting to change. It's becoming a little bit easier to find them, but you really have to kind of hunt sometimes to look for those added sugars. So this is a good slide, to kind of take a look at it. These are all the ways that the added sugar is included on the food labels. Sometimes, like I said, you really have to hunt for them. So choosing less added sugars. So limit processed foods that are high in added sugar. For example, choose plain oatmeal or fat-free plain yogurt and add your own fruit. Canned and frozen fruits can be a great choice, but we need to look for things such as fruits canned in water or their own juice rather than in syrup. You need to choose unsweetened or natural applesauce. Look for those frozen fruits without added sugars. Choose water in place of sodas, fruit juices, or other sugary drinks. For more flavor, you can even try to add some cucumber slices, some fruit, or maybe just a splash of 100% fruit juice. And when we talk about baking, we can try reducing the sugar in some of the recipes by a quarter to a third. For most recipes, you won't even really notice the difference. If you're using sugar at the table or sugary condiments, such as pancake syrup, measure out your portion so you know exactly how much you're using. Maybe try to use a little bit less than you normally would. Read the food labels carefully for those hidden sources, like we talked about earlier, the ketchup, the barbecue sauce, the salad dressings, etc. It's really hidden in a lot of our sauces and our condiments. Choose fruit for dessert, or if you want to indulge in a sweet dessert, order a smaller portion than you normally would, or order your normal portion and share with the person you're having dinner with. All kinds of ways to kind of take a little bit of that added sugar away. So kind of like we always end up these sessions with, kind of a strategy that we can try to get less added sugar. So, we can read a food label to help identify sources of added sugar. We can replace a sugary drink with water. Choose a piece of fruit in place of other sugary snacks. Does anyone else have any other ideas, questions, comments when it comes to added sugar and how to decrease the amount of added sugar we take in?
I'll throw one out.
Please do.
This is Joel Hall speaking.
Hey, Joel.
So you can make date syrup at home if you're cooking at home. You can buy some whole fruit dates, remove the pits, put them on the stove, and simmer in some water for about half an hour, and then blend that. And you'll have a sweet syrup that can be used in place of almost any call for sugar.
Interesting. I had not heard that one. I'll have to give that one a look. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
This is Vahid. This is something along the line of what Joel just said.
Okay.
But in general, dried fruits, if you are really craving for sweet things, dried fruits are good sources of high concentrated sugar, like dried figs, dried anything basically.
Right.
And you can even try drying them at home.
Absolutely. Fruits, obviously they have a lot of natural sugar in them, but that's okay. Still, you eat a lot of dried fruits or regular fruits, you're still going to add in the calories, but, having them as a snack is a fabulous idea. And you're right, you can definitely get a dehydrator and do that at home. Thank you. Anybody else?
Hey Ken, this is Andy Godfrey. A set of questions. So
Absolutely.
we're always talking about having less added sugar, and we kind of know the consequences of that would be,
right.
Weight gain, heart disease, possible, diabetes, those kinds of things. What are the benefits of having no added sugar, other than not having those consequences? Are there any benefits to having no added sugar?
Other than those consequences, I think that sums it up pretty good. I mean, the consequences obviously being the stuff that you just mentioned. Obviously, if you're craving some added sugar, as we talked about on the one slide, maybe a little bit less than you normally would. But what happens when we deny those cravings and deny. At some point, we tend to break and go a little crazy, a little overboard. So I think, if you're craving it and you want a little added sugar, something with a little added sugar, that's okay. It's just, the idea is to try to cut back on the amount of added sugar we have. But the consequences are exactly the ones that you outlined that we talked about earlier.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Anyone else?
Hey, Ken, this is Ernie.
Hey, Ernie.
I don't know. Did you talk at all about? I mean, would people feel better about you with respect to sugar substitutes? I don't know if you talked about that at all.
We really didn't talk about any sugar substitutes, and there's a lot of them out there. And depending, obviously on the research you look at and the negative effects that some of these sugar substitutes potentially can have on your body, there's a lot of research that shows that they may not be that healthy in the long term as well. But it is not something we really touched on, but it's something we could definitely revisit.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Hey, just building off that, Zandy, again, does the sugar substitute spike the glycemic index like added sugar does, or is the blood level stay the same with an added sugar versus, with a artificial sugar versus an added sugar? Do you get a sugar crash with an added sugar? Do you get a sugar crash with artificial sweetener?
I honestly don't know. Something I will do some research on and get back to you on. Making an educated guess, I'm not even going to, honestly, because I'm not 100% sure, but I can definitely do some research and find out for you.
Okay, great, thanks.
Absolutely. Anybody else? All right, great. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. We will do one more of these this year in December. We're going to be talking about financial health, I believe, which ties in nicely since it's the Christmas season, the holiday season. And then we will continue these in 2020 with a whole new series of topics. So be looking for those at the beginning of the year. So again, thanks everyone for joining us today. And as always, this has been recorded and will be posted on our website. If anyone wants to go back and listen to it or recommend it to one of your friends, that's fabulous. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank
you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.